Hello and welcome to the Emerging Leaders Conference pre-videos. My name is Dr. Danice Greer, and I'm so happy to speak with you today. Our leadership lift is going to lift you high and take you places you've never been. First, let me say that you are all leaders. Since your leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. The question is how to increase your influence and use it to help others. First, think bigger by determining that you will not wait until you're an upperclassman to begin having an influence for good. Second, then perhaps you could think broader by thinking of new ways your class could make a greater impact on campus environmental issues. And finally, you could think better by coming up with specific ways you could lift your fellow students, perhaps by volunteering to tutor a struggling classmate. Leadership is influence, and you can use yours to lift others. I am going to list ideas for you to ponder and think about with your team. Ways that you can lift up your leadership skills and abilities. Think about how you might lift up your community. Assess the needs in your community. Develop an implementation plan. Discuss the ideas with your team. Then get feedback and make decisions. Start a clothing drive for the needy. Set up a food bank. Assist seniors or the disabled with daily chores. Cut the grass for people in need. Start a dog walking program. Tutor younger kids in need of help. Collect things for your community. Collect school supplies. Collect backpacks. Collect grocery coupons for local food pantries to help them with the cost. Collect non-perishable food items. Collect unused makeup to donate to domestic violence shelters. Collect Halloween candy to send to the deployed military service members who can't be home to celebrate, or even Christmas presents. Collect hygiene products for homeless shelters. Collect gently used blue jeans for teenagers in homeless shelters. Collect stuffed animals. Collect SAT books and donate them to a library. Think about the needs of your community. Walk kids home from school. Rake the leaves for an elderly neighbor. If you know another language, become a translator at parent-teacher conferences. Offer to babysit during PTA meetings. Foster a shelter animal. Take and donate photos during community events. Think about donating blood or plasma. If you're at least 17 or 16, get your parents' permission. Contact your local political representatives about local issues. You can also teach things to your community. Teach underclassmen safe social media practices, ways to avoid stalking and being bullied. If you know music, give free music lessons. Offer to coach a youth sports team. Teach adults in your life about internet skills and ways to text message and use their smartphones. Give a seminar on driving safety. You may just save a life. Teach CPR after you've become certified yourself. Help English language learners practice with conversation. Teach people in your community how to register to vote. You can also fix things in your community. If you see a problem, consider doing something about it. Sometimes the best service we can do the places we love is to take care of them. Start a small, little free library. Place campfire safety plaques in your campsites. Clean up your local park. Beautify your community with a trash cleanup. Help a neighbor or community organization paint a fence or a building. Spruce up a rundown playground. Help your neighbor with repairs. Offer to patch up clothes and stuffed toys. Help to organize books at a library. Give computer help to local adults. You can also host things in your community, like, for example, a bake sale, a clothing swap, host a holiday meal, host a competitive book drive, host activities for kids in the hospital, host a dog wash, host a car wash as a fundraiser, host a river cleanup, host an immunization clinic, host a gardening party, host a study group. You can also make things for your community. If you have talent and skills, you may be able to knit scarves or hats for families in shelters. Bake cookies and snacks for food pantries. Write letters to senior citizens in long-term care facilities. Make quilts or blankets for kids in the hospital, even hug pillows. Build birdhouses for your neighbors. Design a community mural. Put together first aid kits for local shelters. Make birthday cards for kids in homeless shelters. And last but not least, volunteerism. The amount and things that you give for volunteering makes a huge difference in your community, especially with those less fortunate. You can volunteer your time at a local library. Volunteer to chaperone a field trip. Volunteer at your local nonprofit organization. Volunteer at an animal shelter. Volunteer at a community center or as a lifeguard, or volunteer to be a crossing guard to help kids across the street. Volunteer to assist and do social media for the local organization. And remember, you can always volunteer to set up a community event. I hope these give you some great ideas